A lot of you guys asked this one. When is the baby coming?
Yeah, mine just says kids question mark?
Well guys, we actually have something we've been meaning to tell you.
What's up guys? It's Zach
and Lindee, and today we are filming a relationship Q&A.
I just had the stupidest thought in my head. It was like, we said, what's up guys, it's Zach and Lindee. I literally saw the stupidest intro thingy where it like made a heart when we said our name, like, you know, like those old school videos, they have like the intros, they have the stupid little like floating heart thing, almost like Disney Channel.
No.
I literally just derailed our whole video like 2 seconds in.
Everybody just clicked out and unsubscribed.
You didn't, right? You're still here.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, who goes first?
As if you think you can win this game.
This is sheer luck. There's no
skill.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh.
Skill. What has been your favorite moment in your relationship?
In the whole entire relationship or like within the marriage?
I'm pretty sure it means in the entire relationship.
Okay, go.
I know one of my top moments is when we met for the first time. For sure that was one of my favorite moments just because it was so, everything just felt so right and there was nothing that was confusing or weird or awkward or anything like that. That's still one of my favorite memories.
Obviously the proposal was one of my favorites, as cliche as that sounds. That was a really special and awesome day. Also my first trip out to San Jose.
Yeah.
Really awesome. It was
really
one of my favorites. What was your favorite thing to do when you were on your honeymoon?
You guys just want the obvious answer. Like, what? Like, I know what you're trying to ask. Like, duh. What do you want us to say? How's married life so far? It's been really good so far. There's been a lot of ups and downs too. I mean, it's like there's so much change at one time going on that it's like there's a lot of really, really positive things going on and just a lot of trying to figure out next steps in everything in life.
Moving obviously to a completely different state, and then you add like marriage on top of that and like navigating, sharing a life together. But it's nice to have a person to wake up to every single morning that's got your back and is on your team that you can talk to about anything. Were you surprised when Zach proposed, or did you kind of have a feeling that he would? This is definitely, I'm so shocked at the amount of people that like literally don't know that their boyfriend is going to propose. I just feel like that would be so scary, like in your shoes.
You were still shocked
by
the fact that I proposed.
I didn't know
like,
when you were going to propose, but I absolutely knew he was going to propose. We had talked about it
like,
several
she knew
times.
I proposed eventually.
Like he took me shopping for rings. I knew it was coming at some point. I just didn't know when it was coming.
Were you nervous when you proposed? Honestly, the proposing part is not what I was nervous for.
You knew I was gonna say yes.
I was more nervous about getting everything together to propose as far as, because I mean I was trying to surprise her and get there on time and make sure. I was hoping the flight didn't get delayed. I was hoping that there was a lot of things to sort of juggle and figure it out.
He definitely successfully made it a surprise though.
Thumbs up if you like surprises. Not trying to get likes or anything like that.
Do you guys fight a lot, and how do you overcome those big fights and still love each other? I wouldn't say that we fight a lot. We definitely have our differences and we have discussions on like miscommunications. I'd say that's the biggest thing, is like when we misunderstand each other and don't really get what the other person is trying to say, and so then it's like a discussion to try to get to the point of what the other person is saying. But I would say talking it out is the biggest key to reach the end of an argument or the end of a heated discussion. Just be careful with your words too. Like in the heat of the moment, it's so easy to get caught up in emotions and say things you don't mean or say things that are hurtful. Fighting and still loving each other at the end of the day is just to communicate and just to be careful with the words you're using to communicate.
I would also say realize that most likely they're not usually trying to say something just to hurt you. Usually like it's literally something was said in a way that you didn't understand it. You're probably not fighting about something that's actually that heated. It's more just like, I didn't really hear that correctly and it hurt my feelings. What was yours and Zach's reaction when you first met each other? We got a lot of questions asking about when we first met, how we first met. We actually have a video all about that, but I'll answer this one more specifically.
We'll link that down below.
We'll link it below.
So you want to see the full story of how we met?
Yeah.
Down in the description.
But as far as the first reaction, so I was like, wow, like you're even more beautiful in person. And she looks at me and she goes like,
wow,
you're really tall. Really? Like that's like hardcore friend zone right there. If you tell a girl she's attractive that she goes, wow, you're tall, it's like,
that's an attractive feature. That's a compliment.
If you had said, you look really handsome to me, you look more handsome in person, I went, you're short.
Alright, well. What was the hardest part about planning the wedding, honestly? All the opinions that I got from everybody else. And just trying to balance all of the opinions and all of the people involved.
Mine was just trying to take care of her the best I could and help her get to the finish line.
It was also really hard too, still being long distance, because I was getting so impatient and just wanted it to be like right then and there, because we were still living like all the way across the country.
Instantly.
But that's not how it happened.
Did your wedding go as well as you expected it to, and would you have changed anything? It looked and sounded amazing. Thank you. We quite enjoyed the wedding. I think one thing we would not change is the ceremony.
Perfect.
The ceremony
My
was
favorite
exactly
part.
the way we wanted it to be. It was really intimate. It was beautiful. As far as things we may have changed, I think it went about as well as we expected it to. Like, at least me, I expected there to be some hiccups, and there definitely were. I mean, any wedding, like, just assume
we
that,
thought
like,
the cake wasn't gonna get there. We
You didn't
almost
know
didn't
that,
have a
though.
cake. I didn't find that out till after.
people were trying to tell her, and I was like, why would you tell her? Just like, if it doesn't
He
show
was
up,
the wall in
just
front,
no.
like, no, don't tell Lindee this.
Don't tell her anything. Let her think that everything go perfectly, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and then she finds out at that time.
Oh yeah, we almost weren't allowed to serve like the champagne or the wine. There was something wrong with like the liquor license or something for that
They
property.
thought there was, but there wasn't.
But then it was fine. Then that was fine too. There's only like two little things that I would have changed. One is I would have had like a smaller, more intimate wedding, which was kind of our initial plan, and then it kind of turned into like, well, I was really happy to have everyone there, but I didn't feel like I got to talk to everybody because there were just a lot of people and like trying to get around. The other thing I would have changed is I would have had a first look before the ceremony instead of the first look being down the aisle, which I never thought I would be the person to say that, because I always thought first looks were kind of weird. Like, I always wanted it to be down the aisle, but being in that moment, I was really feeling like, oh, I kind of wish this was a moment that like just the two of us could share, because it didn't really feel like you could express your true emotions.
Well, you're super
when
aware.
You know everyone's staring at you.
You're super aware of everybody, like, looking at you. It's like, it's weird to show your emotions in front of like 100+ people. It would have been easier to just have that for the two of us.
Those are the only things I would have changed though. When did you know that the other was the one?
Before we even started dating, I was pretty confident, like, that's the person I'm gonna marry. We talked about this, and I think we talked about this in the other video too. When we were both substantially younger, I heard this stat that like, what is it, like 80% of people marry somebody that they knew before the age of 16 or something like that?
Or like from the age of 16 or something like that. I don't know.
Something like that.
It was some stat. I don't even know if it's a real stat, but like I saw the same stat too.
It was some stupid thing probably on like, apparently she saw the same thing.
Yeah, it's really weird because I saw that stat a long time ago too, and for some reason like his name popped up into my head. I didn't even really have any sort of romantic feelings towards him at that point, because it was like a...
Always friend zone, guys.
It wasn't even friends at that point. It was like strictly like a business relationship. Like we did collaborations and we did music.
Zone. I don't even know.
We did music together. Like that was kind of the extent of it. But like for some reason his name popped into my head and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. What? But for me, like the moment that I actually knew was the first trip that I took out to San Jose, and I met his entire family, and I just got to spend time with him and with everyone in his family, and it was just, I don't know, I could just see myself as part of his life and as part of his family, and that was the first time I really felt like that with anybody.
What's the one thing you love about each other? That's a really tough question because there's a whole lot more than one thing that we love about each other. The main thing for me is how she interacts with people and how she cares for people. That's something that's always really important to me. If you are respectful to other people and care about other people and want what's best for other people, it's like, you're probably a pretty good person.
It's really hard to just say one thing.
She likes nothing about me, guys.
The one thing I really, really love is just the fact that Zach truly is my best friend, and he's always made me feel so comfortable in my own skin and so comfortable with myself, and anytime I'm with him or talking to him, even before our relationship was really a relationship, I just always felt like I could be myself. He was always just really fun and lighthearted and joked around and just made me feel like
you could be awkward.
Like I could just be my awkward self, you know? And that was something that he made me feel even from the very first time that we met, which could have been so awkward considering we like met online and then met in person for the first time, and it was like just us, like we didn't have any other friends or like any other people to like break up the awkwardness if there was like awkward silence, and it was just us, and the conversation was just completely effortless. Christmas. A lot of you guys asked this one. When is the baby coming?
Yeah, mine just says kids question mark.
Well guys, we actually have something we've been meaning to tell you. We want a dog before we want to have kids, so...
Puppy?
Hopefully sometime in the future we can get a puppy first, but we want to be a little more like financially stable and in a better living situation before we get a puppy, and then we'll start thinking about kids. But yes, we do want kids, just not yet.
How long were you together before you got married? 2.5 years? Yeah, probably about 2.5 years. We're not 100% sure because we'd have to do some math, and that's just...
It was May of 2016 when we started dating.
We got married in November of 2018.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, let us know. Tell us in the comments how long it was, because that's a lot of math.
We knew by like July of 2016 that like we wanted to get married. What is your favorite thing about living together? Getting to wake up to his face every morning.
Yeah, the other morning she wakes up and looks over and freaks out because she didn't know who I was.
Oh my gosh, I slept so well the other morning and I was so disoriented and confused when I woke up. I literally thought like, okay, whose bed am I in and who's next to me right now? Like, am I at home? Is this my sister? And then I like looked over and I was like, oh yeah! And then it all came back.
What are your future plans now that you're married? There's career plans, there are plans as far as, obviously one day we want to have kids, we want to have a puppy. As far as what we want to do with our career and stuff right now is we're really focusing more on the songwriting and production side of things. Some of you probably don't know because you're new to our channel, but we do singer-songwriters and
we do music full time.
Yeah, we do music full time. The thing we really want to get into is the behind the scenes side of music. Like, we want to be the song that the artist puts out. Like, we want to create the song.
So we really want to get more into like songwriting and producing for other people. We actually just like officially opened up our studio for that. So if you guys are interested in discussing that, we will link our information down below to talk about our songwriting and production and mixing and mastering stuff.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed that.
If you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a video. Next week's video is going to be all of the speeches and toasts from the wedding, so we're really excited about that. They're so emotional and so sweet. We can't wait for you guys to see it. Okay. The struggle of using natural lighting.
We're lit for now. Anyways, guys.
Love you guys, and we'll see you all next Sunday.
Is it